The silent meditation will be after he speaks. But this is just to get you into that receptive, higher opening feeling, so that when he shares with you on many, many levels, he will be reaching you. When we got into the work, I always say this is the work in life. We were in our mid-20s, and we were handed a book on Broadway in New York City from somebody who doesn't remember giving it to us, about Edgar Cayce, and we both read it. And then we were handed a book not too far after that. That person doesn't remember, on the Maharishi, and he had come to the country, and people were all getting into meditation, and Casey was very much into meditation. So we went to the ARE, we found it in New York City, and it changed our life. We was like, the divine light came in and said, you guys are going to now get on the path, and that's why you're together, because he was so weird for me to pick to marry. I mean, he was not anything like he is now. And then all of a sudden, we had made a soul contract somewhere to come together, and that's what happened. And we just got on the path, and all the showbiz thing that was in me and all the writing he got, we all came into this, and then everything we did with the music and him with the writing all came together for another purpose. And I just know that you've got stories like this, and I hope he does a group after he speaks, so you can share what got you onto the path, because this is a time when we need to talk about it, because we're here to do something about what's going on the planet. And the Vietnam War was happening then, and it was just chaos. We're in chaos now. And if you're not meditating and doing groups where you talk about what's going on, that you're hungry. And so I'm going to try and get him to do a group right afterwards. So let's do a meditation through chanting. It's going to be a call and response. And I'll just go like this when you're to respond. Golden light in the candle flame, golden light in the candle flame. Deep in you, I feel the same. Deep in deep in you, I feel the same.
Good morning, everyone. I suspect that most of you know that I am never speaking about preparing ourselves for a heaven we'll enter after we drop the body. I'll repeat that. I suspect that most of you know that I am never speaking about a heaven we will enter after we drop the body. In fact, according to Casey's readings, that's just about a given before the soul continues its journey, possibly to other lifetimes. But I am always speaking about entering heaven in the here and now lives that we are living. Entering that consciousness or state of awareness while we are living and carrying out our physical lives and expressions in the world. So the way to heaven is really a path of transformation. And we should be aware of that all the time. Let me share this with you so that we can all get up to speed. You don't have it?
No, working on it.
Okay. We know that the Master of Life said that the kingdom of God is in the very midst of you, within you. Defining it then as a state of consciousness. And so it is that state of consciousness that we are in the process of attempting to attain. It doesn't seem to the unenlightened mind or the initial state of consciousness that such a state is real. Because we have been so long going through the trial and error of living in a definition of life as being a separate body-mind in a world of separate phenomena. So we go back and forth, up and down, in and out. Some things are good, some things are bad, some things go our way, they don't go our way. And we suppose that that is reality. In fact, people will say that. But in the real world, that's not the real world. It is a school that souls have decided to enter in order to reflect upon the ideals of consciousness, so that we not only can bask in the awareness divine, but arrive at a place where we can express the awareness divine in the experiences of life. We were created in the image and likeness of God. Oh, thank you. It's that bad. They sent me out my notes. Something's gone wrong with the system.
Yeah.
Okay. Heads will roll because of this. No. I'm trying to come across like a guru, and It just doesn't work for me. Okay, let me limp through this talk. All right, the first, yeah, I already told you that my note is, this is what I hand Heather at the end of a Friday. If I've already got it by Friday, this morning, she got it early this morning. So I handed this. And the only thing on here is the quote I want right here. You see this quote is outlined, everything else is scratched out. And then this is my next PowerPoint right here. So this is what she gets to put up on the PowerPoints. All right, we have the first one. Let me share the second one with you. And listen to this one very closely, because let me say this to you. The divine inspiration that came through in these words is infallible. It knows the height of being. And this is what it is saying to all of us in creation. Why wait for heaven? It is here today. Time is the great illusion. It is past or in the future. Yet this cannot be. If it is where God wills his Son to be, how could the will of God be in the past or yet to happen? What he wills is now, without a past and futureless. It is as far removed from time as is a tiny candle from a distant star, or what you choose, or what you chose from what you really want. I'll say that again. Why wait for heaven? What it really does, this Course in Miracles, it collapses time, which is the illusion that holds us in separation from being able to acknowledge reality. So we have in our mind all the time the past from which we are attempting to live and make the future more effective. And we're always living outside the moment of consciousness, because we are trying to do something from a limited, flawed foundation. So even from the very beginning, why wait for heaven? This is being spoken to all of us who believe that heaven is something that's in the future, possibly when we pass on, or heaven is something we will attain if we stay with it well enough. But the idea that you could literally pause and become so willing to be present with only the moment, that you would feel this expanded joy of not wanting, not fearing, not grasping, not wanting, just being here, appropriate to be with whatever is. You see how that would literally dissolve ambition, ego-centered pursuit, which brings fear of gaining or losing even what you gain. So these magnificent spiritual discourses, listen to it again and just rest in it. I mean, this is it. Why wait for heaven? It is here today. Time is the great illusion. It is past or in the future. Yet this cannot be if it is where God wills his Son to be. And his Son, if you know the Course in Miracles, includes every created person, is the Son of God. How could the will of God be in the past or yet to happen? What he wills is now, without a past and wholly futureless. It is as far removed from time as is a tiny candle from a distant star, or what you chose from what you really want. Look at that last line. It's so magnificent. I mean, honestly, it's just shifting us away. So different from what you chose to what you really want. You see, we chose to reflect in order to be able to express. But the reflecting has become a cross to bear, because we have collected also limited information about what makes for happiness. We don't even know what makes for healing or peace or health. And the reason why we don't know is because we are living for a more improved future. We're hoping things will get better. Then what? Things will get better then what? If you were to accept where you are, what you have, and give gratitude, blessing, joy, thankfulness, even for the limitations that are now in your experience, you would free yourself from useless, unnecessary suffering, and the divine intelligence that gives life, healing, love, and peace would rise within you and take away the shadows that live in the cells of your fear. Okay, I'll tell you a story. Stories stay longer with people. This is a classic Unity story about, there's this railway station, and it's in Baytown, Connecticut, and this guy pulls in the train, he gets off the train, he's got all this luggage, they're collecting his luggage, and he's walking into the station, he sees the station master, and he said, yeah, I'm going to be moving here and living here now. What are the people like in this town? Station master says to him, what were the people like in the town you just came from? He said, oh, they were selfish, fault-finding, stingy. I couldn't wait to get away. Station master said to him, you'll find the people are just about the same here. Then another guy rolls in, has all of his luggage on the thing, walks into the station, is going to be moving into that town, says to the station master, what are the people like in this town? Station master says to him, what are the people like in the town you just came from? He said, oh, they were wonderful people. They would go out of their way to help you under any circumstances, friendly, caring, there for you. And the station master says, well, why are you moving here? And he said, because my job has changed my location. He said, well, you're going to find the people are just about the same here as the people you left. And is there anything within you, this is interesting, is there anything within you that says that not quite as true as it's presented? Check that out. That's not really quite as true as it's presented, that it's really consciousness that determines what we and how we experience. So, this is a classic, and I thought that I would go and research. Now, I've done this for you. I said, where is the one Course in Miracles statement that is the whole burrito? In other words, if you didn't have the whole course to study and you wanted to know what is the essential absolute of A Course in Miracles, I'm going to share it with you now. Can we have this PowerPoint, please? You can read this in the workbook, page 236, paragraphs 1 to 3. What keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? And what can save the world except yourself, with a capital S? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real, and does not doubt it, nor can he be swayed by questioning its thoughts' effects. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought has shifted, for to change your mind means you have changed the source of all ideas you think of, ever thought, or yet will think. You free the past from what you thought before. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeing what you do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. Can we take this back again? I know this is a heavy one, but this shift in the change of mind that is being suggested here is a shift from the movies we were shown as we grew up and believed. And it is saying that those movies have created the idea of you being separate and needing to be defensive and needing to be cunning and needing to be smart and needing to plan and needing to work your passage so that you don't get, stumbled over. But now it's asking, but if you were to change your mind and really, even by faking it, look upon the possibility that everything you see rises with you, not apart from you. Everything you see rises with you. Everything around you, every person, everything said, everything done, rises with you. And it can change if you look upon it differently. If you look upon it as one worthy of being blessed, worthy of being forgiven, worthy of being cared for, worthy even of being served. If we're to be looked upon as that, it would soon start to change. And more it would change until you realized how beautiful and how blessed and how perfect life is, just as it arises. So that's the whole burrito. I'll take it again. What keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? And what can save the world except yourself? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real, and does not doubt it, nor can he be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effects. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought has shifted, for to change your mind means you have changed the source of all ideas you think of. I'm going to stop there. Just stay right there on that word, think of. How you think, how you look upon things, how you relate to everything changes. Every thought will change. Every thought you have ever thought, and every thought you will ever think. If you're willing to fake believing there is only God. There is only God. You free the past from what you thought before. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. What would happen? See, you come through that, and at the end, you drop ambition. You drop defending. You drop fearing. Accepting, allowing, flowing, being, knowing. There is, this is, they are, only God. And it goes on to say, it's expressed only the oneness here. Let me see. And okay. Oh, listen, this, there was a Jesuit priest, and he was well known. Many of you may have read some of his books. And he was considered an enlightened sage, and he spoke all over the world to crowds of people. His name was Anthony de Mello. And he taught truth as the master's teaching, the necessity for transformation through introspection, through meditation. But then, after years of doing this, he said something to his closest disciples. This is what he said. This is an interesting thought. Let's take a look at this. This is in a book called The Way to Love by Anthony de Mello. About 12 years ago, I discovered something that revolutionized my life. I met a rickshaw driver in Calcutta named Rinsai, who, although he was dying of a painful disease and was so poor that he had to sell his skeleton before he died, still was a man filled with faith and interior joy. I suddenly realized he had rediscovered true life. He was alive. I was dead. He was a man who had reincarnated himself during this lifetime. About 12 years ago, I discovered something that revolutionized my life. I met a rickshaw driver in Calcutta named Rinsai, who, although he was dying of a painful disease and was so poor that he had to sell his skeleton before he died, still was a man filled with faith and interior joy. I suddenly realized he had rediscovered true life. He was alive. I was dead. He was a man who had reincarnated himself during this life. I think it might have been a better choice of words to say who resurrected himself into true life. Can you see how the whole thing is a collapse of time? We have all the stories from the historic ideas of Jesus walking the earth, healing the sick, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of that, and keeping us in the time-space continuum. And we go on with that, and people are hanging on to the idea that on some distant day, this beautiful being of light, Jesus, will return, take the faithful to a place of heaven where you don't have all the troubles, the tribulation, the conflict, all of that. And all of that is beautifully written by the intelligence that is waking us up. As we collapse time, we find out that that Jesus is really saying things that deny the possibility of him ever being a man like you or I. He says things like, even before Abraham, who was 3,000 years before him, historically speaking, I am before Abraham. I am the Alpha, I am the Omega. How can he say that? They said, you're not yet 50 years old. See, They're going to take us out of history into the now moment of our own divinity and saying to us, find your reality. Find your true life here. And so, once again, I'm finishing up a whole thing on gratitude, which is the high path to enlightenment. It is greater than meditation, although meditation is good, necessary, helpful. If you can find your way into gratitude, you will find something happening within you. You will find that your desire to be grateful is fulfilled because you will be so grateful, so filled with joy and happiness and peace. So this is the week of Thanksgiving. And of course, human beings in this particular Western culture have set aside a day to be thankful for all that we have. But those seriously on the path will set aside their limited life to celebrate thankful gratitude in consciousness. So let me suggest how you could fake it this week and find your way in the kingdom of God. If you're not there, I mean, I know there are people out there that are operating on a high level of consciousness. So give thanks this week. Have gratitude. You can just say, I am grateful for, and count the things that you're grateful for in your life. Inwardly, I'm grateful for this partner I have on this path. I am grateful for these friends that I have that are there. I am grateful for, you know, the opportunities that I have in life to be creative. I am grateful for, and then move through all the people that may appear on your path, even those that might be difficult to you. I'm grateful that they've given me the opportunity. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm grateful for that this person or these people have given me the opportunity to transcend my ordinary reaction of distaste and to feel forgiveness and to bestow peace. I'm grateful they've given me the opportunity to master this moment. And as you go through all of that, then begin to be grateful for all these seeming inanimate objects in your life. Be grateful for your home, your living quarters. Be grateful for your car, your computer. Be grateful for the lighting that gives you light to see by. Be grateful for the sun that shines, the moon. Be grateful when the snow comes. Be totally grateful. And as you start to do that, just being grateful, you're saying, what would happen if a person just lived a life of gratitude and that anything else would be taken in and allowed to be released through forgiveness and peace? And you would see that all of time would become superfluous, because you would feel that you were a divine being divinely guided. And as the apostle said, it is not I who live, but God who lives in and through me. I'm going to conclude this with this particular quote that says it all. But no, really, take seriously this whole idea of inwardly blessing and feeling gratitude for every single thing this week. Don't let it get away from you. If you feel like you're in a state where you're just really feeling upset and not at peace, take a pause. Take a holy pause and give thanks for the opportunity to master that moment. And let's have this final PowerPoint, please. This is in a book called The Door to Everything. It's on page 108. I am a God who requires understanding, and your search for reincarnation with me. That shouldn't be reincarnation, that's a misquote, I'm sorry. That's reunification. Your search for reunification with me is an individual responsibility. Each must learn for himself how to live upward, as it were, through thought into the realm of feeling and then into the realm of being. The upward movement can begin just where you are if you relinquish the customary attitudes and fill your heart with a new song, a song of love, a song of praise, a song of gratitude. Each must learn for himself, herself, how to live upward, as it were, through thought into the realm of feeling and then into the realm of being. The upward movement can begin just where you are if you relinquish the customary attitudes and fill your heart with a new song, a song of love, a song of praise, a song of gratitude. So we will do that now. Take a couple of deep breaths and listen to our beautiful Tibetan bowls and become present. Resting from ambition and wanting, allowing peace be here now. Resting, allowing, letting peace be here now. as we go forth from this meditation to those places we occupy in time and space. Let us go forth with a greater determination to prove gratitude, to prove appreciation, to prove thankfulness, to prove love. For this opportunity in every moment, we are grateful. And to this we say, Amen. We will take an offering for unity now. And as we're preparing to do this, we have the different ways up here that those of you watching on screen can donate to Unity of Boulder. Now, if you'd like to make a physical gift, you can do that here or in the lobby. We have a credit card dip jar. So let's bring to mind that financial gift we'd like to make to Unity of Boulder. Let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is.